Hi, darlings. Welcome back to my page. Today, I want to chat about my journey of divine feminine energy dating and just the roadblocks that I have experienced along this path. And if you like this video, let me know. Leave me a comment down below, and I will possibly turn this into a series sharing more of my experiences that I have encountered along this journey and this path. You know, a realistic view on what feminine energy dating actually looks like in the real world. So first, let me give a disclaimer. I am not a relationship expert. I actually cringe when I hear people call themselves that because that's just, I don't know, I just find it kind of weird, that phrase. But my area of expertise on my page, as you see, is more so on teaching women how to develop their majestic confidence by embodying their divine feminine energy, healing their self-esteem, finding their personal power. That's my bubble that I stay in. However, relationships and love and dating, that is another topic that really does fascinate me a lot, and I've done a lot of studying on it. And I just I just find it interesting seeing myself integrate that energy I have been cultivating in myself and learning how to apply that in the real world when it comes to dating and love and relationships and whatnot. So I wanted to talk about this myth that you will immediately find a husband or a boyfriend just because you have feminine energy or just because you use feminine energy on someone. So my issue with that mentality is that it's actually very objectifying to yourself and to the men that you encounter. So a lot of these videos that you see, 3 steps to make him do this, or use these words to get him to do XYZ, like those kind of phrases, like I understand why marketers use that because it does elicit an emotional response in you that makes you want to click on the video to see what they're talking about. However, it's coming from an agenda. It's coming from the mind, and completely forgetting that those men are humans with their own free will. And I think it's really funny how a lot of women will complain about being objectified and used, when in reality, a lot of them are doing the exact same thing. When they're trying to force a man into commitment, if you are trying to use a trick on him to make him do something, if you're trying to force him into a box, into some kind of fantasy or ideal that's in your mind, and getting mad at him if he doesn't comply to what you're doing, like all of that is actually very objectifying because you're not honoring the free will of that other person. So it really doesn't matter how feminine you are. Like, other people have the free will to opt out if they choose to with you. Like, it doesn't really mean that you are entitled to someone's commitment. So I wanted to, bring that realistic opinion, on here into this video. So on this journey, it is true that feminine energy is very attractive to a lot of men, to most men, just because that's how polarity works. The opposite energies between men and women, that is what creates that magnetic pull, that magnetic draw between two people. And you will draw in a lot of men because of the new luscious energy that you're learning how to exude with your feminine energy, that you're learning to embody for yourself. However, you have to realize that attraction doesn't automatically mean commitment. I know there's this idea that, well, if you have a lot of men who are attracted to you, that automatically they want to be committed to you. And that's not really how it works. There's so many other factors that contribute to two people being able to be committed to one another, such as timing, lifestyles, compatibility, maturity, emotional availability, how much baggage both people carry, if they are emotionally ready for that love and, for it to be anything further, long-term alignment, etc. So it is normal for it to take some time and for you to have to filter out a lot of people before you find a good match for yourself. So there's this idea that just because you're in your feminine energy, that means you're supposed to get a boyfriend the next day. And it doesn't really work that way. Like, it is normal to have to filter out a lot of people before you find who is a good match for you individually. And you have to remember that someone being attracted to you doesn't mean that they care about you. It doesn't mean that they have the relationship skills that you would need to have something serious with them. And it takes more than attraction and that polarity for a relationship to work. And I feel like a lot of people they miss out on that part of the whole feminine energy thing, where, like, yeah, you might draw in a lot of men, but it does take some time to find the right compatibility. Like the right compatibility is what you should be focused on more than how many people you can attract. It should be more about quality, but not quantity. A lot of women can be under the impression that they are doing something wrong. And sometimes, doing something wrong if they are not attracting the relationship that they want. And sometimes it does have to do with a limiting belief or a certain vibe that you're putting out that could be pushing certain men away. You may have a specific type of behavior or neediness going on that might be pushing away the love that you want. Like that does happen. It might be something on your end that you're doing, but in a lot of cases, like you are showing up the way that you need to in a healthy, self-assured, self-responsible way. But it's more about you just finding the right person. So in my opinion, divine timing has a lot more to do with commitment. Being able to align with someone who's on the same page as you might be a little bit difficult. And I've definitely experienced this myself where, I've met a lot of great people over the year, but usually there's some kind of misalignment going on somewhere where, it's preventing things from being able to be anything long-term. So all of that is a normal part of dating. So if you think you're going to attract a boyfriend in 24 hours just because you have your feminine energy, like it doesn't really work that way. Sometimes it does take some time before you can find the right person, and all of that is very normal. Something else I also notice on this journey is that the deeper I anchor within myself, the more I develop and exude more of that feminine energy, more of that personal power, the fewer options I actually have. So, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but usually what I'm hearing is some variation of you're out of my league, or you're too good for me, or you're too good to be true. And the reason why you might hear that from a lot of the guys that you encounter is because feminine energy, like true embodied, anchored feminine energy, it's a power that resides within the unseen realms, so you will be felt energetically by the men that you encounter. However, they might be a little bit scared of you, and that is actually very normal. I get comments on my aura all the time and how I shine really brightly. People tell me that I feel very tingly, when they're around me or when they hug me or when they touch me. They can feel a certain energy radiating off of me because, like I said, your divine feminine energy is an internal energy. It's not something you're doing externally. It's more about how you feel within yourself inside. And that's actually pretty scary to some men, because a lot of guys are very logical. They're very in their heads. So when they do encounter that type of woman who is like this, it kind of drives them a little bit crazy because they can't really figure you out. It's going to drive them crazy not being able to know why you feel the way that you do. And I have witnessed quite a few do what seems like short-circuiting, like they get really overwhelmed by what they're feeling when they're around a woman like this, and they end up sabotaging the situation or getting insecure or just running away because they don't know what to do with her, with that type of woman, because they have no experience with that type of woman. So divine feminine energy can often scare a lot of men. And if you know how to use your energy in the right way when you are dating, I can teach you how to do that over in my program. That can actually be a little bit overwhelming to some men just because, especially if they aren't really grounded within themselves. The feminine represents chaos and magic. And it's this dreamy, enchanting, mystical energy that can often be a distraction and feel like a distraction to some men. And sometimes they run away from that. And I've witnessed a lot of guys encounter women who are in this beautiful energy, and they will admit that they actually really like her, but they just won't go near her out of fear or not feeling ready or not feeling capable or not feeling strong enough or good enough for her for whatever reason. So something you may encounter as you're dating is men who seem really normal and secure initially, but then as they get to know you, as they begin to really feel your energy and feel the way that you are as a divine feminine woman, they may feel like they don't measure up for some reason, or they may feel like they're not good enough or that they're not the right guy for you. So that's a beautiful thing about some men, at least the good, healthy men, is that they'll actually leave you alone if they feel like they're not on your level in some way. That's actually their protective instinct coming out towards you, where they don't want to waste your time, so they would rather step away to let a better guy come through for you. So if you do encounter that, it doesn't mean that those men are bad people. It just goes to show that you being in your feminine energy actually doesn't automatically make a guy better. It doesn't heal him from his insecurity. It doesn't heal his baggage for him. It doesn't make him commit to you. It doesn't make him do anything, to be honest. If anything, your inner light, the way that you shine, the potency of your essence, the potency and the availability of your soul that you are exuding, you know, that's going to shine light on their insecurities that they may not want to take a look at, which is why a lot of them might ghost you, or a lot of them might run away or whatever, because, you know, I've experienced that a lot myself. You know, it's normal for your divine feminine energy, if you truly are embodying and using it in the right way, it's normal for you to scare off a lot of men, because it's going to start to become about quality and not quantity. And that is exactly where you want to be. That is a good thing, because the good quality men will stay and will step up, and all of the lower quality ones will get filtered out. So that's another realistic view of the dating world. You know, just because you are in your feminine energy, when you're in your personal power, it's going to scare off all of the men who are not for you. So it might seem like you're doing something wrong. It might feel like nothing's working. It might feel like, you know, you're getting abandoned or you're getting ghosted. But what's really going on is that your energy might be repelling those who are not on the same frequency as you. And you might have to wait a little bit before you do find the kind of guys that are for you. So this is just a reminder to come back into reality and realize the reality of what dating actually looks like. A lot of these marketers online, they are playing on your insecurity and wanting to make you feel bad so that you spend more money with them. But I want you to realize, like, all of the beautiful wedding photos that you see of glowing feminine women, what you're not seeing is all of the frustration that she probably went through prior to that. What you're not seeing is all of the times that she probably was ghosted by a lot of men. What you're not seeing is all of the times where maybe she got her hopes up and she was disappointed by guys from her past. So we never really see the authentic behind the scenes of a lot of people's dating lives. And I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of mine, you know, a quick little preview, I guess, or glimpse of mine. So just so that you know that feminine energy doesn't mean that your dating life is going to be all peaches and cream and perfect, and that's okay. That's actually very normal. At the end of the day, being pretty and feminine doesn't automatically cure everything. You are still human, men are still human, and it's normal to have a lot of ups and downs and roadblocks and frustration and disappointment as you are on this journey. You know, all of that is very normal. So let me know if you like this video, and I will share more if you want to hear more about the things that I have seen and experienced, and just giving my realistic view on the dating world and what my divine feminine energy dating life has looked like. And if you want to learn more about your majestic confidence and learning how to awaken your divine feminine energy, that's exactly what I teach over in my program. My program is more focused on the inner healing. It's not really focused on dating and men. I do have a little information on it in there, but for the most part, it's more focused on the spiritual healing and you learning how to awaken your enchanted soul, embodying your sensuality, your sacred sensuality as a woman, connecting to your body a lot deeper. And all of that is what leads to a brighter aura, more of that beautiful feminine radiance, and just overall security and confidence in who you are. And that's exactly what I teach over in my program, The Art of Elite Feminine Sovereignty. I will leave the link to that down below. If you're watching this video on YouTube or Facebook, the link will be below. If you're watching this on TikTok or Instagram, I'll leave the link in my bio for you. All right, my loves, thank you for showing up, whoever showed up here today. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will catch you next